the African Ambassadors Economic Forum 2026.
That brought to the question, shouldn't it be what Africa could learn from Europe, or what Europe could learn from Africa? And I think in the past, in the last years, if somebody invites a representative of the European Union, it would be what Africa could learn from Europe. But I think all the speeches we heard here now, and everything what the future is showing, would say it must be what Europe can learn from Africa. Well, I was supposed to talk about the economic topics, so I have just 5 points I would like very briefly to address to you. And at the end, you can decide if the headline of my speech should be what Europe should learn from Africa or Africa learn from Europe. It fits very well. The first point is, we are all living in a new era. There is the end of the monopolar world order which emerged after the Cold War. This world is ending, and Africa stands at the center of what comes next. The West can no longer dictate terms. And the rise of the BRICS nations, including China, India, Brazil, South Africa, and Russia, has redrawn the map of global power. And this opens new opportunities to Africa. As a European conservative, I welcome this turn to balance sovereignty and national self-determinations for African states. Second point, infrastructure. Infrastructure must serve Africa, not geopolitical games. And infrastructure should connect African nations to each other, not just to pipelines of extraction for Western or Chinese conglomerates. We have seen this before. Ports built for raw material exports, but not local industry. Power lines to mines, but not to villages. That is not development. That is exploitation with modern branding. Third point, the BRICS factor. A parallel system is emerging. Africa has now new options, new opportunities. The BRICS Development Bank, bilateral partnerships with China or Russia, and South-South trade corridors. All this is breaking the monopoly of Western financial institutions. No continent should be tied to one lender, one ideology, or one capital. And I'm representing opposition party, the AfD from Germany, and we at the AfD believe that competition in global finance is better for everyone. Let Africa choose, not be forced. And let me just very briefly talk about two players from the BRICS pool, China and Russia. China has built infrastructure across Africa at a scale the European Union never matched. But China's role must also be met with vigilance. Sovereignty must never be exchanged for dependency, regardless of the partner. And Russia, well, Russia has returned to Africa, not with sermons, but with security, nuclear technology, and bilateral cooperations. And BRICS offers an alternative to the conditionality-based funding of the West and the neo-Marxist values exported from Brussels. So I would say Europe should respond not with lectures, but with better offers to this competition of BRICS. Okay, I see Ed is applauding as first, so this is the last point. It was very clear. I'm happy that you are not standing behind me already. Europe and the role of European Union. Well, obviously I am an opposition politician, so I am not representing the European Union or the European Commission. I would say I am representing more the people of Europe and the conservative part of it. And the conservative European vision for Africa is we propose a different model. We propose bilateral infrastructure agreements without ideological strings. We propose respect for national traditions, religions, values, and domestic industries. And we propose cooperation in energy, transport, agriculture, not in social engineering.